It's been hotly debated whether it's solely a company's responsibility to moderate and to remove explicit content from their social media sites through the use of content moderators, or whether it's enough for us as a society to rely on the morality of those posting. When utilising a lens of utilitarianism, canteen ethics and virtue ethics, it's clear that corporate responsibility and individual responsibility are not mutually exclusive. Rather, they are both required to produce a moral outcome. Utilitarianism defines good as the greatest happiness for the greatest number of people, and regarding social media and individual moral responsibility versus community responsibility, if we were all to prioritise the community's pleasure over individual pleasure, Bentham would hedonistically support each individual to be aware of the outcome of their actions, calculating this using the hedonic calculus. If we were going to apply the calculus to Facebook users versus shareholders and moderators, it would be possible to calculate how pleasurable Facebook is as a whole.
If introducing a content moderating position would increase the overall pleasure of the population, wouldn't this imply that individual responsibility can and should be shifted onto strangers? Content moderators spend hours scrolling through reported content only to be paid almost minimum wage. One can see how undervalued they are, and many leave with extreme health problems. These 1,500 stakeholders in Mark Zuckerberg's global powerhouse are in the minority, and are therefore overlooked to save us viewers from viewing explicit content. The pleasure of others has come at the price of the well-being of the moderators. Furthermore, what is known as the Uberization of the drug market has been spurred on via social media, making it easier to sell illegal substances online. This has raised the question of whether it should be an obligation for social media sites to help prevent these activities, as social media is being used as a vehicle for drug sales. The utilitarian theory would not condone the method of individual responsibility, as often those selling the substances are benefiting financially. It is more ethical to shift some form of responsibility onto the social media sites. The utilitarian premises can be seen on the screen.
Kantian ethics would suggest that it is the responsibility of the individual to moderate the content that they post. Removing this responsibility from an individual, according to Kant's categorical imperative, would be morally wrong, as it would be a disrespect towards their humanity. The use of content moderators is plainly using others as a means to an end, which Kantian ethics explicitly rejects and asserts as unethical. An action cannot be ethical for some and unethical for others. Making an exception for a smaller subset of humans to view disturbing content is strictly unethical.
The Kantian ethics premises can be seen on the screen.
Virtue ethics contrasts to both utilitarianism and Kantian ethics. It emphasises character and virtue rather than action, such as doing one's duty or acting in order to bring about good consequences. Aristotle's virtue ethics aimed towards eudaimonia, meaning human flourishing. Aristotle composed a list of virtues. Two applicable virtues for the individual online are conscientiousness and friendliness. Virtue ethics would support the individual taking responsibility online by possessing these virtues. So what about collective responsibility in virtue ethics, i.e. the responsibility of the company? It suggests moral education in young people, helping individuals be safer online as part of a community, and fostering virtues within this community. The virtue ethics premises are shown on the screen. To conclude, utilitarianism, Kantian ethics, and virtue ethics support both company and individual responsibility. Utilitarianism supports content moderators and individuals, Kant supports the individual, and virtue ethics supports a virtuous collective and a virtuous individual. And so, most responsibility should be placed on the individual, but an ethical means in the community to achieve e-safety should also be considered.